Welcome into the live stream here for McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey.
What it is, sir?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. Good here on this Thursday, February 27th. We're almost to that magical moment where we can say this is March. Then we'll be 31 days away from the magical moment where you can say this is April, and on and on.
Yeah, we did not get the Instagram figured out. It
We did
posted
not?
us as a story, though. I don't know.
Okay.
I give up. I haven't given up. We'll figure it out. Not going to be on TikTok today because I forgot to plug my phone in today, and I'm already out of juice.
There you go. But we're here on YouTube, MPW Digital. We're on Twitter, X.
Then like half of Instagram. I guess it showed up as a story. I don't know. I don't know. We have to get Cole will be here. I think tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow he'll be here at some point in time. I think he's
Okay.
coming to town tomorrow. We'll get Cole on the case.
All right.
Because he's got to get our stuff to test. He's going to come by my house, and then I forgot to tell you live on the show, he's going to come and try to get anything that we need to test the live stuff for Talladega.
Okay.
The equipment, the road show equipment,
All right.
and we'll be ready to roll.
All right.
But yeah, it's going good, man. Been busy, slammed that time of year.
Isn't it funny? This is your busy time. This is kind of my only semi-light time. I have basketball. Recruiting's a dead period. The recruiting stuff's going on, but like, I don't go goofy with the recruiting stuff on. Like,
Yeah.
What?
Ever anymore? No, I'm
well,
just kidding.
until they take visits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just for me, it's February's dead. Obviously, as soon as you get done, really it's a little bit in January after dead period, it cranks up, and then it's just every single day. Probably until June, and then a little bit over the summer, a little bit in August, but it's full tilt for me at the old quick U. Really busy. It's been had a good week for Quick U this week. So adding some new teams and rocking and rolling, man.
Got the NFL scouting combine on one TV. Got Cubs Angels live from
I haven't watched
Mesa.
I haven't watched spring training yet. I'll get to that. But I haven't gotten to it just yet. I usually try not to. I don't watch a lot of spring training until towards the end, like here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I just turn it on because it's on.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not paying much attention to it.
I get false hope, and I try not to put
Yeah.
myself there.
Yeah.
Just
All right,
waiting for the Braves. Just waiting for the Braves.
You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Welcome into episode 264 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Thursday afternoon, February 27th. Hope everyone's having a great start to the close of your week. Appreciate you being with us here on a show that's brought to you each and every episode by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I had to go back. It's going to be a busy day. It's been busy. And I had to go with a little tropical today.
Okay.
It's feeling a little sunshine outside. I went right back to the tropical. The tropical is so good.
It's a little cooler out than you think it is today.
It's gotten
It's wonderful.
yeah,
weather.
it's gotten a little bit warmer as the wind died down. The wind chill was a little something
There's
something.
my friend Taylor McGregor.
Okay.
With the Cubs. We got stuff going
Got
on
stuff
today.
going
Go
on.
ahead. I'm interrupting.
Had golf on today. I know you watched all kinds of golf today. Saw Jake Knapp hit the 15th sub 60 round in the
How about
PGA
that?
Tour history today.
How about that?
He was on fire, couldn't miss. But Taylor's playing in it. I think he was 2 under today.
Okay.
2 under today. So yeah, he played early this morning. So, but Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat, it's already bumping. Remind everybody right now, the brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado trucks are on sale at Cooper Chevrolet. You can get up to $13,500 off MSRP. That's with all combined discounts. So make sure you check them out at Cooper Chevrolet. Go on social media, on their webpage, all that stuff. Cooper Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, And make sure you check them out, and you can get up to $13,500 off MSRP. And give them a call at area code 256-236-4481. Scoops, we're also brought to you by our good friend Brandon and all the people over at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats, and they sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all of your hunting and fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery located right there in Greta, Mississippi. Make sure you go to the online store at ptgoutdoors.com. I was on the phone with a buddy today.
Oh, yeah?
Who was on his way to Academy down in Texas to get his son a new fishing rod and reel. And I said, you don't need to do that. You need to go to PTG Outdoors. You know what he did? He turned the car around, went right back to his office, and got on PTGOutdoors.com and bought his son a new fishing rod and reel.
There you go.
Let's go. What are we doing?
What a day.
What a day. What a day.
What a moment for that young man. He doesn't even realize. He doesn't even know yet that his life has been changed.
Forever by PTG Outdoors.
Unbelievable.
Scoops, you know what else?
It can't be more.
The McCready and Siskey podcast is now the official RV dealer of County Line Campers.
There you go.
That's right. County Line Campers, right there off I-10, exit 38 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Open 7 days a week. If you want to know what they got there, you can go online. You can go to YouTube. You can go to TikTok. Go follow County Line Campers and watch Miss Destiny take you on a tour of all their brand new spanking RVs. And you know what? They're kicking off their annual RV Gross.
No way.
And when you go and purchase an RV there, they're going to get you a brand spanking new Yeti Tundra filled with your favorite Mardi Gras essentials. That's right. Your favorite Mardi Gras essentials. Open 7 days a week. And you know what, Scoops? You can go get you a brand new Cardinal slide, front living, 43-foot fifth wheel for only $59,995.
It's basically free.
I mean, it's damn near free. They are basically just saying, hey, we're going to take the loss. You get this great deal on this fifth wheel.
Absolutely.
You know what else you can do? You can get you a brand new Gulfstream bunkhouse travel trailer right now. Right now for only $16,899.
They're practically paying you to take it.
They're saying, please, I'm going to pay you to take this off my lot. Merry Christmas. Merry Avi Gras. We see you. Check them out at County Line Campers. All right. You ready to roll? How about that?
How about that?
How about that? All right. Before we get started, I wasn't even going to talk about it, but now you got me thinking about it. It's gotten crazy because the amount of texts I've gotten in the last few hours about it. So we had a little incident this morning on social media. I didn't know if you saw.
I mean, I'll let you talk about it.
All right. So
I don't have a lot to say.
I'm just going to bring it up. I'll just talk about it. We're going to air things out. I wake up early, go upstairs, get some stuff done, come back downstairs, get a cup of coffee. The golf tournament comes on at 6 a.m. So turn on the golf tournament.
Look at Jorge Soler. He's lost some weight.
Let me see. Look, he does look a little narrow. Probably got that test coming up. All right, so we got, I go in and I'm just in a good mood, and I go in and I usually do it. I'll go in, check social media and all that stuff. Cole runs it. I have the logins, but I'll go check social media, see if there's anything.
Sure.
DMs, life advice, which we'll have later on, things like that.
Right.
And I see that we have a DM that's being requested. It's like, I usually go in there and clear them out because they're usually bots. And when I go to clear them out, I look and I see the name Neal on it. I say, oh, this is not a bot. So when I click on it, LEB_91, who pretends to be a female, who's not a female.
It's correct.
Which I was not aware of that at the beginning, but I am now. Decided to talk shit about my guy Scoops over here. And the one cool thing, and I'm holding this, I've gotten so many text messages from coaches today. Mm-hmm. I mean, going saying, I'm so jealous that you get to do this. For 20 years, I've had to let people troll me, and I couldn't really say anything. And they're not even trolling me. They were trolling you.
Yeah.
But you're my guy, Scoops. You're my boy, Blue. And I can't, I've
got him blocked on Twitter, so he can't DM me.
It hit me wrong. Yeah. And so I was like, I knew that them DMing it meant that they didn't want to do it publicly. And I'm just not going to let that happen. Just not going to let it happen. You can't do that. And so I decided to screenshot it, put it on Twitter, got some good traction there. And then
got a few people upset at you. They said you were doxing. And it's like, no, he's not.
I didn't say the guy's name.
No.
Philly Reb and up in Philly. I didn't say all that. You know, I didn't tell her who it was. I know who it is, though, by the way.
Originally from South Carolina.
Yeah, I tracked him down today. It wasn't hard. You're not hiding very well. You're not a great hider. But
I wonder if the young woman's image that he is using is aware that he is using her image.
Oh, it gets better. He changed the image after the first tweet. Between tweet 1 and tweet 2, he changed the image. So I imagine that the image that he changed it, he knows that person.
Yeah.
And he changed it to somebody you can't see their face.
Okay.
So he changed it between 1 and 2. Anyway, long story short is I had a meeting, come back, and then he sends another message that says he was high on an edible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have TikTok going, so we're good today. He was high on an edible and that he's an accountant and that he's got a lot of work to do today.
Oh, of course.
And for me to take that down.
No.
And so I just responded, hey, I know it's tough. He should try some Easy Hemp Company, though. I gave a shout out to Easy. Let's go. He should try some Easy Hemp Company. I understand that tax season is very stressful. But no, we're not taking it down. And you just don't get to talk shit and then play victim. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, so Philly, listen, I doubt if you're actually an accountant because based on everything I've seen from you, I don't think you're able to hold down a job. But in the event that you are, we suggest Easy Hemp Co. It's a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative. It's a natural way to relax and unwind. You won't get upset about concession stand reviews this way. It's all natural. It's made with real fruit, not fake fruit, because I know how you do fake stuff. Real fruit. No added sugar. It's low calorie. It's gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare. I mean, I know you probably have a lot of scares going on right now, but this will help you with the gummy scare. I can't help you with the other scares. And it will control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com to view the Easy Finder, to find Easy near you, whether you're in South Carolina or Philadelphia, wherever the case may be. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly.
Yeah. It's a great suggestion. They should definitely do that. But,
we're here to help.
We're here to help. We're just here to help you. Okay. We're just here to help you. But yeah. So anyway, that's how the day got started today. So it's fun. All right. Let's switch gears a little bit. All right. So, Abdul Carter, who is one of the guys in contention of being, is one of the guys that's in contention of being the first pick in the draft, from Penn State. And his foot, he got a trigger back on his foot that found they call it stress reaction in his foot. And they're like, oh my gosh, his foot is so messed up that he's going to participate fully in his pro day. So that's not really unusual with football players to be dinged up, shocker, after playing a college career and playing what did they play, 16 games? They played 17 games. Penn State played 17, right? No, they played 16 games.
12, 13, 14,
They played
15.
in that championship game. So
they
they played
12,
13,
14, 15.
16, right?
16.
Yeah,
16,
so played a lot of games. But he is going to participate. I think he'll be fine. If he's not the first overall pick, he's a top 3 pick. I mean, I think I would be shocked if he made it out of the top 3. But he's a difference maker. He's an edge rusher that will go get him. So he's a guy there. All right. But that's no big deal. I guess they're worried about even if he has to have surgery, he'll be fine. All right. The Saints, a little more NFL news. They plan to stick with Derrick Carr. And a lot of people seem to be surprised by this. I was not. They are in cap hell.
Yes.
I mean, beyond cap hell. They're over the cap. They're in the worst They're 32 of 32 teams. They are in the worst cap situation in the NFL. And if they were to move on from Derrick Carr, that's going to be a $51 million cap hit. That's why he is there. This has really nothing more to do with that. And then quarterbacks, who are you going to get right now? What do you're not going to go invest more money in a position when you got a guy that's going to be a $51 million cap hit in the cap situation.
Well, I think what got people excited was there was an ESPN projection that had Justin Fields as the Saints quarterback.
That made people excited?
You're talking to the wrong person. I mean, I don't know that I watched a Saints game all season, so I can't. I know Carr was bad.
I'm just talking about the Justin Fields part.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they were hoping this was going to be the Saints just admitting that it's over. It's time to go ahead and eat the tank.
Brother, this is what you call the taxes are due. It is tax season.
It is tax season. That's for damn sure.
It is tax season. The $51 million, you just can't do it. I mean, that's just the end of the day. You can't do it. So that's it on that.
It is tax season.
100% it is.
I had to write a check. Monday?
I got mine coming.
Because Laura sent me the text today that said that she sent them certified mail and that they've been delivered. I was like, yay. That's great. So glad that the government has my money.
All right. Sad news today. A little down today. My guy, Gene Hackman, passes away at 95.
Yeah, that story has changed a little bit as the morning has progressed.
All right. What's the latest you saw? Are you going tinfoil hat?
Well, the condition of his wife does not support carbon monoxide.
Okay. I don't know I know that they found him, his wife, and his dog.
Yes.
Passed away in Santa Fe. But he's been kind of out of the limelight for a little while now. But Gene Hackman was like, I don't know, it was kind of like he was one of my favorite actors growing up. I mean, I remember one of the first movies that I really remember watching as a kid was Superman. I mean, it was Lex Luthor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of my first movies I remember watching as a kid, was the original Superman. And then we got to go to Hoosiers. I mean, Hoosiers, one of the great, and y'all can, if this is not one of your opinions, y'all can hold me with this shit. Hoosiers is one of the greatest sports movies ever made. And if you think otherwise, enjoy your pineapple pizza and boneless chicken wings. All right? I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
Hoosiers. You know, I started going through this Hoosiers thing in my head. If there's anybody in here listening that's like, I would say from the age of probably 45 to probably 50, or if you were playing growing up when Hoosiers was coming out, the one thing I remember about Hoosiers, besides being a kick-ass movie, and now that I look back and I laugh and I've made fun of my dad all the time with this, I will never forget as long as I live. That movie comes out extremely popular, right? And it comes out like in basketball season, you know, and like you're growing up like Knox's age, you know, you're playing basketball, and every single coach at the local gym is running the drills from Hoosiers. If there was a drill when he was blowing the whistle, making them run over their feet in place, or whatever that was, and the dribbling drill between the chairs, like every drill that they did on Hoosiers, every local kid at the gym had to do. If you were between the ages of 7 and 11 during that time, you had to do those drills for about 2 years. Every drill. That's how the local coaches learned how to do drills. But just great movie. And then underrated. You know, one of my favorite movies he's in? Underrated. It never gets brought up. Crimson Tide.
Oh, yes, he was in Crimson Tide.
I love that movie. You watched that movie?
There was the movie about the submarine.
Yeah, Submarine with Denzel, him and Gene Hackman and Denzel, the two main characters there.
I think I did. Yeah, I was living in Alabama at the time, and so went to see Crimson.
Is it that old?
I was about to make a joke.
You got a notification up there. Just is that Twitter? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's
we went in Alabama, and everybody was wearing a football jersey. It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I got nothing for you. Got nothing for you.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of it's obviously those are probably my three favorite that he did, but every movie that he did was good.
It was 1995. I was living in Alabama at the time.
That movie came out in 1995.
According to Thomas Hotz.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah. He told everybody movie Crimson Tide, they would have shown up in jerseys.
If you would have told me that movie came out in
Pom-poms.
1995, I would have guessed like 2003, 2004. I'd have never guessed that was that old, but damn, that makes me feel old. Great movie though. Football jerseys, the weddings. Grind, Grind, I need you to email me, man. I got something for you. But anyway, yeah, sad day there. All right. Spend a little time on this. Not a little time, but few things in football news here. Jim Nagy leaving the Senior Bowl, going to Oklahoma as the GM.
Yeah, this was interesting.
Quickie clients. I'm excited for Oklahoma. Jim's going to do a really good job. I've known Jim for a long time, all the way back to when he was I think I met him. He was a scout for the Patriots, and he was with the Seahawks for a long time before. He was with the Chiefs for a minute too, I think. And then he worked his way up, and Seahawks he was the last one, and then he goes to the Senior Bowl. So Jim's father-in-law worked with me at St. Paul's, and so that's kind of how his wife is from Mobile, obviously. And then so I got the chance to meet him, spend some time with him a bunch down there. But Jim's a good dude, really sharp, and it's a mold. You see North Carolina's done it with Michael Lombardi, former McCready Siskey podcast guest, Michael Lombardi.
Yeah.
But as they're going to rev share, and I think it's really good for guys that like Jim, and there are people in college that can do this already, but there's just really not a lot. It's going to take guys like Jim and guys like Michael Lombardi. Coaches can turn over the true evaluation process to that department, and it takes some of the pressure off the coaches. Okay. And I've talked about this a lot with a buddy of ours that's a head coach. And, in my opinion, the way we're getting with roster management and the way we're getting with agents and everything's involved, when you're the higher of the job that it comes, there needs to be in college, there needs to be a disconnect between the guy doing the contract and the head coach. Okay.
Yeah.
There has to be a separation like the NFL. You don't need the head coach being the guy negotiating the contracts, because it creates friction in that relationship when it turns over to being a player. That's why it's separated in the NFL.
Yeah.
You don't need you don't need to be coaching like Lane Kiffin, for example, here in Oxford. He doesn't need to be going to practice and then when he just got out of a meeting with a player that wants more money, that needs to handle through the GM. There needs to be a good cop, bad cop kind of relationship there. And it needs to be, the coaches need to be good cops. Let the GMs and the front offices be bad cops. Let them be in charge of that. Now, with this being said, and I've said this for years, I'm ecstatic that the money is now being invested in the recruiting department and the GMs are getting paid like they're getting paid. But there also needs to be, that's going to come with responsibility, right? If the rosters aren't up to par, that's who needs to be blamed for it, not the coaches in this new model that we're in.
Yeah.
So
what's interesting to me is that so much of the college game has been in the past about recruiting and relationships and stuff. And so I guess there will still be some of that. But,
there is.
But the eval and ultimately the contract and stuff is going to be negotiated by people that are not necessarily doing the recruiting, right?
Yeah, it does. It still will be a part of it, okay? And that will still be different than the NFL. But it needs to be, if you're the head coach and I'm the GM.
But Jim's not going to be out on the road going on official.
He can't.
Going into in-home visits and
he can.
Tasting mom's meatloaf.
There's a way to manipulate that now.
Okay.
There's teams that do it. There's a way to manipulate it. But there needs to be if you're the head coach and I'm the GM, it needs to be, hey, Neal, these are the 35 guys that we like and we want to go get. And then instead of you deciding who those 35 guys are, that needs to be put on the front office. Now, the problem is that it's change, right?
Yeah.
Coaches hate change. There are going to be some coaches that are going to be very reluctant to give up that kind of control because they've been doing it for their whole careers.
Right.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. If I was a head coach, I would be very reluctant to not be involved in the decision-making process.
Yeah.
And
especially when you're the one that gets
yeah.
your head put on a platter if it doesn't work out.
And especially if it's something that you're good at. Okay, there are head coaches that are great evaluators. There are head coaches that want to coach ball. But it's going to take some of the pressure. I think when the more college football gets like this, like doing what Oklahoma's doing what North Carolina's doing, and they're not the only ones. Florida's been doing it. There's other ones that have been doing this. But the more this takes place in college football, the more college coaches are going to stay in college football.
Okay.
So you're going to take some of that time, and you're basically giving up time. You're sharing responsibilities and deliberating. And then shout out to my guy Michael Lombardi. It was posted online the other day. I'm assuming this is true. It was a very credible source.
If it's online, it's true.
If it's online, it's definitely true.
Absolutely.
$1.5 million a year.
Well, one of the things I was going to say is I don't know what Nagy was making in Mobile, but I'm going to guess that Oklahoma's paying him well.
Hey, shout out to all the recruiting departments. Shout out to Michael Lombardi, Jim Nagy. Appreciate you guys getting the coin up in that business. Great day to be Michael Lombardi.
They going to pull you back in?
Brother, I can tell you this. I got a call. What year? This is 2 years ago. I got offered an ungodly amount, and I just couldn't do it with my company. I will say this: I got offered double the most I ever made in my career, and I was like, "Excuse me." I said, "Excuse me." I had to go home and have a conversation with Mama for sure. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "What? Excuse me?" Yeah. I mean, we getting up there. We getting up there.
One of your buddies offers you 1.5 to come run the whole ship.
1.5?
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
But give me holler at your boy. 1.5 a year.
Aaron. Yes. Aaron says you just took the job.
1.5 a year.
Yeah. But you got to get back into it. You got to dive back in.
Well, see the thing.
There goes all your free time, all your concession reviews, everything. This new
I'd have to think about
this new career you've built for yourself.
I'd have to think about it,
and your job, your company. You'd have to.
Well, I know how to do that.
You'd have to get rid of your company.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have to get rid of it.
You couldn't run it anymore.
Yeah, but I'm good there. We're good as far as that goes.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to give it up. Mama would just become the owner. I'd just sign it over to her. But yeah, I don't know, man. 1.5. It would depend on we're getting in think about it territory. Serious consideration territory at 1.5. We're getting in serious consideration. I'd be like, Scoops, brother, we'll get in serious we'd get in serious have to have a talk. I'd have to get you to meet me at the old Blind Pig. We had to sit down and have a cold beer.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. We'd have to talk on that one. All right. But I'm happy for him. Jim Nagy, good dude. And I love Michael Lombardi. I think he's awesome. All right. Other news. Bo Davis. My guy. Bo Davis leaving LSU to go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Speak of that.
This is according to what I've heard from people in Louisiana, this is very much getting out of the college game the way it is right now and getting away from some of it. All
right. Worked with Bo at Alabama. I love Bo. Bo's been, I mean, he's an elite coach. He is an elite motivator. I mean, I love Bo. He's one of my favorite D-line coaches that I've ever worked with. Now LSU's in good hands because LSU, in my opinion, had on their defensive staff, had two of the best defensive line coaches in America. Kevin Peoples, who I work with, at Arkansas State and Northwestern State. He's been at Missouri. He's been at Arkansas. He's been around, obviously, now at LSU. I think Kevin is probably one of the best technician coaches in America at D-line. So they're going LSU. If you're an LSU fan, you're going to be okay. But just happy for Bo. He's going. My man Nuss now. I guess I got to be a Saints fan now because now I got Nuss down there. I've already been a Saints fan a little bit because of DeMario. We got DeMario Davis down there who played for us at Arkansas State. And I got Bo. Now I got Nuss down there. Oh, Big Nuss, not Nussmeier. That's the quarterback, but his dad.
Could have him in a year.
That'd be that.
Good.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Good.
How about that? That'd be good.
I would think it's safe to assume this is his final season at LSU. Coming up.
Yeah,
that's a safe bet.
Probably a good wager.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy for them though. But Bo's a great dude, great coach. He's been at Texas, Alabama, been a little bit everywhere, so he's good. He's good people. So happy for him. Bo used to crack me up. This guy's like the elite defensive line coach. He used to crack me up anytime we had a bad day. All right, something happened. It didn't matter what it was. He'd be like, "Man, fuck this." He's like, "I don't need this shit. I'm just gonna go back to Mississippi and start my own damn trucking company." And that was his thing. He's like, I'm like, "Bro, you're you're like the top paid defensive line coach in America. It's gonna be okay, man. Fuck this. Fuck it. I'm going back to Mississippi and I'm gonna start my own trucking company." That was his thing. Like, anytime he was ready to tell everybody to kick rocks, it always went back. He was starting his trucking company, and I would be like, but he was great. So I gotta tell Bo Davis stories. Bo had I don't care. He'll be all right with this. Bo had some moonshine one time.
Okay. This is at Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama. And it was like, I don't remember, and I'm really paranoid about, always have been, especially when I was coaching. If I ever had one sip of alcohol, I'm not driving.
Right.
Okay. So Bo had some moonshine, and we were getting ready to leave. I think it was like a bye week, and we were getting ready to leave the office. This is like a Wednesday or Thursday night or whatever late. We're getting ready to leave, and Coach was out speaking somewhere, so we were getting ready to leave, and it was nighttime. It was like, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was like, "Bo, I want some of that moonshine." So I went and got a plastic cup out of the kitchen that was where we ate. And he poured me some moonshine, and I was going to drink it when I got home. So I'm like, "Brother, I'm just driving to the house. I'm not drinking anything." And so I was like, "I'll be all right. I'm just driving from the office to the house. It's 10 o'clock at night. All good." And
Famous last words.
Yeah. And so for whatever reason, I'm going, and like, it was like a bunch of us that lived out by North River Yacht Club. It's like me, Burton Burns, Bobby Williams, Jeff Puritan. We all kind of lived all next door to each other. Kevin Steele, we all kind of lived all in the same area. And so we all leave, and we're kind of going. And for whatever reason, like, you had to make a choice when you went to my house. You either had to drive through the golf course, because our house was on the backside of it, or there was a way you could go around the back end. For whatever reason that day, I kind of split it up 50-50. Didn't matter. Same distance. I went around. Brother, I came to the last stop sign over there, roadblock.
Oh.
And I'm like, "You gotta be shitting me."
You got moonshine in the car.
I got moonshine in the car. I was like, "You gotta be shitting me right now." I haven't drank anything. I'm good.
But was it open in a?
Yeah, it was like in a plastic cup.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
And so I poured it out before I got to the roadblock. I saw it coming for a while. I poured it out, but I was pissed because I wanted moonshine. Anyway, so I get there, and I get up there, and I'm like, and I got up there, and I said, I see the trooper. It was state troopers. I said, it was one that took care of us.
Gotcha.
It was one of our friendly troopers that escorted all of us around, when we went to trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was about the fourth one. He goes, "Just driving around." He goes, "All right." He goes, "What are you?" He goes, I heard you was coming." He goes, I've already seen.
Oh no.
He says, "I've already seen somebody." He goes, "You got that moonshine in here?" He goes, just drive around the side." And I said, "No, I poured it out." He goes, "Well, hey, you're stupid." He goes, "You're stupid. I got the rest of them. I let the rest of them go around."
That's great.
So I was, yeah.
That's
my man,
great.
Bo Davis. I love Bo.
How about that?
Yeah, he's good people. Love Bo. All right. Last thing, we're gonna get to some hoops here. Are people really buying in? And you tell me, you got a better fan. You got a better pulse on people than I do.
Wow. Then you have no pulse at all.
Yeah. Are people really buying into this excuse of player safety? as to why teams are canceling spring games?
No, the overwhelming majority of fans don't care whether they have spring or not. Hardcore fans do, but most fans don't. Most fans don't care about spring football. Most fans are like me with football. They're seasonal. They love football in the fall. Then they switch to other sports. And then when football rolls around again, they're ready for football. That is the majority of fans. Otherwise, I would be rich right now, like living on an island, laying out on my little chair, sipping a whiskey of some sort. Yes, otherwise, yeah. They don't care. No, they don't. The other part, the reason that this
is this because one of the ADs said that?
Yeah, the schools say this because they just don't really want to say the truth out loud for some reason. They're getting there. They're becoming more transparent about it. But I think it was Del Conte at Texas. He said the truth, and then at the very end he goes, we're all about player safety. And it's like, oh, stop. It's not that. But I think even the hardcore fans understand that if you have spring, it's going to lead to portal issues. It's going to lead to guys going, okay, I was third team. I don't think I'm going to get to play. The guy in front of me is better. Or if you have a spring game and you televise it and you're a backup at Texas and a school like, I don't know, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri is watching your spring game because they will. They go, that dude's a backup there. We need a linebacker. Hey, dig into this kid. They dig into it for a day. They find out they really like the kid. What's he making at Texas? 300? Double it. See if we'll get in the portal. Come. So you avoid all that.
That's my point. I guess my point, I had this.
But they don't like saying that stuff out loud, and I don't blame them.
It's been a hot topic with me, I guess, this week. Every live I've done,
But that's hardcore.
Every show I've done.
That's hardcore.
And then I had.
But your casual fan does not want to hear that.
And then
that is the stuff they do not. The schools, let me rephrase that. The schools believe, and this is sourced, that if you start saying that kind of stuff, we're not doing this because of the transfer portal and we're doing our salary stuff. We just brought in a guy, and we've got this kid locked in at this amount. Another school comes in and offers more. He gets in the portal and leaves. We're not doing spring football because of that. They're afraid, and I think they're probably right, that you're more mainstream, normal, not hardcore. I don't mean normal like hardcore fans are abnormal, but just the dude who watches or the woman who watches on Saturday, and they might read a little bit about it during the week. But for the most part, football's a social activity, fun activity on Saturday.
Right.
They're not locked in on Tuesday, and they're not locked in April. Right.
Right.
Those people aren't going to like it.
I'm with you there. But we have a mutual friend that has a podcast who reached out to me last night and was like, the team that he covers, he literally said the fans are really pissed because they're talking about this and that, about not having a spring game and all that stuff. And I said, look, at the end of the day, this is kind of my argument. I was like, fine, I'll listen. I'll hang up and listen. I'm genuinely asking the question. Name me one positive for having spring practice and or a spring game right now from the coaches, from the people who are running your program. Name one positive or one whatever from having a spring practice and be a spring game.
It's not one.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess you have a little bit of development time, but you can replace what they want to do, and it makes sense, is replace that with some mini camps.
Yeah.
Over the course of
that conversation.
Yeah, but that's the whole. It's not like, hey, we're just going to eliminate spring football. No, you're going to a pro model, so you're going to do it the way the pros do it.
And so the heart, but that's the thing is like, there's two reasons. One's like, all right, let's take, and when I was talking to Sparkles yesterday, that's a big Alabama fan that didn't like what I said about it. He asked my opinion, then he crapped about my opinion on it. But I was explaining to him, and everybody's like, okay, let's look at, because he's an Alabama fan. Let's look at Alabama, for example, okay?
Okay.
All right, well, you got Ty Simpson, who's literally been waiting his turn for however long now, okay?
3 years.
Very heavily recruited, 5-star, the whole deal, and he, supposed to be the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sign this really super talented freshman, Keelan Russell. Okay, and then it's like, well, who's going to be the starting quarterback? And I've said from the jump, I was like, I don't care what they tell you, they're going to do everything they can to get into August before any indication has given to decide who's going to be the starting quarterback, because they don't want the other one to leave, right?
Yeah.
And people think about the game, like you were just talking about, if it's on TV, they're going to be watching. Well, let me tell you what, those other 14 practices, the coaches at Alabama are going to spend all of their time, hey, we really don't have ones. Like in the history of spring practice, you go ones versus twos, or twos versus threes, or twos versus twos. You've identified them to get your rotations in practice. You can't do that anymore. I mean, I've talked to coaches all the time. They're like, we'll be like, hey, little Johnny's really a 2 or a 3, but we let him roll with the ones.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
Of course.
You don't want to give them any indication that they're leaving. And now you got guys going, okay, spring game. Now it's gotten to the point where what you were saying, right? If it's on TV and they're watching it and they're going to get your guys, I got buddies of mine that are coaching, like, dude, how, like I talked to one, this was 2 days ago. He said, how like we would go to spring practice and we're like, I would we go to the spring game, and my starters that I knew that were going to be starting or playing, 50 snaps for me a game at receiver, I wouldn't play them in the spring game. Probably for the last 5 years of my career, okay? Wouldn't play them in the spring game because I didn't want them to get hurt, and all that stuff.
Sure.
He goes, now the reason people don't want to have spring games is like, one, yes, you don't want your superstars to get hurt. That's one. Two is you don't want to play the guys that you don't want to put them on TV.
Right.
And so you look up and you're like, we ain't got nobody to play, because you don't want to play the dudes that you're worried about. That's a depth piece, but you don't want to put them on display because
the only reason you played them
used to be the guys who played.
The only reason you played them the last few years was because the SEC network or whatever network was contracted, and they're like, hey, we need 2 hours of programming, so do it on this Saturday. That was the only reason. And then to his credit, Kiffin said last year, I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. The SEC network said, you got to do something for 2 hours. And he said, okay, we'll play wiffle ball or kickball, or we'll play some 7-on-7. We'll have a hot dog eating contest. We'll have a dunk contest. Maybe we'll have a dunk. We're going to have a state fair on the field.
Yeah.
What time we have to go? You got to be done by 3. Okay, cool. We'll be done by 3. And they were. I mean, they didn't want to do all that. And so it's going away. They're going to go to look, if you're going to be a pro sport, and that's clearly what they're saying, then follow the pro model. Because if you're preparing players for the NFL, why not go ahead and get them on an NFL calendar?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
That'd be a long podcast. I'm 100,000. Y'all know how I feel about this. I'm 100,000. Again, it'd be a break off and all that stuff. There is a few rules that they could change to make the sport even it's not even just a sport, it's athletics. I'm not getting into this whole deal. I will say it as a part of this conversation. I purposely did not put this on the outline today. Georgia, I guess Ross Dellinger reported about how Georgia's splitting up their deal and that they're adding 100 scholarships, but they're reducing 75 athletes out of their athletic department. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, what are we doing?" And I have this really mixed emotion, right? I do. I have a mixed emotion. Is that in one, I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the players in whatever sport they're in, that they're losing opportunities. On one side, I'd feel really bad. On the other side, I don't feel bad because and I'm a nobody, but people like me have been shouting at the rooftops for since 2018 that this was coming, and they had a chance to do it, and they didn't. And it's a shit show. Anyway, we're off of it. No, I didn't say anything about lawsuit.
Okay, I didn't have to.
No lawsuit talk today. I didn't
have to light a match.
No lawsuit talk today.
I was thinking about playing with fire and just seeing.
No,
but enjoy the pain of burning flesh.
I don't know. It's a shit show. It could be fixed very easily. There's one person that doesn't want to do it, and that's the NCAA, because they're going to lose their money. But in the meantime, all these people are losing their opportunities at college educations and things like that. So, But hey, it's what's for the betterment of student athletes, though, right? Bad deal. Scoops. I'm done. I'm not. I'm just. It's part of the conversation. I didn't bring it. I didn't write it down in the outline. I didn't write it down in the outline.
I know.
No,
I'm keeping the matchbook in my hand just in case.
No, sir. We don't have an episode today.
Okay.
There's no episode. It's not on the outline.
Okay.
It's not. But let me tell you something that is though.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what is on the outline.
All right.
You know what that is?
Kia Meridian.
Spin the wheel. Every day. Big savings are happening right now at Kia Meridian. You can get $10,000 in rebates and 0% financing on select vehicles. Plus, for a limited time, we are matching your down payment up to $2,500. That means more car for your money all month long. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit Kia of Meridian today. Kia of Meridian, where great deals drive home with you. Give my guy Trav a call at area code 601-483-6444. 601-483-6444. And when you do, Trav's going to pull it out.
He's going to pull it out.
No Tucker.
Going to whip it out.
And he's going to let you spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Check them out, Kia Meridian. And also a reminder, County Line Campers, the official RV dealer of the McCready and Siskey Show right now. Go to Exit 38 on I-10 down in Gulfport, Mississippi. If you buy right now, they're open 7 days a week. If you buy right now a brand new RV, they're going to get you, it's RV Gras. You can celebrate RV Gras. And they're going to get you a brand new Yeti Tundra filled up with all of your Mardi Gras essentials. So check them out anywhere online at County Line Campers. You can go to countylinecampers.com. Make sure you go to YouTube, TikTok. Check out Miss Destiny's walkthroughs of all the brand spanking new RVs and all the deals they got going there. If you're looking for anything to do with RVs, if that's your jam, go to County Line Campers and check them out. They have a brand new untrouted Mercedes diesel Class C motorhome right now.
Boy.
Yeah, big boys. Right now for only $94,995. And check this out. You can get a new Primetime Tracer bunkhouse travel trailer right now for $24,995 right now at County Line Campers. How about that?
How about that?
I'm going to try to go down and see your good friends at County Line Campers here in a few weeks. I'm going down to the coast.
Oh, that's right. You're going 2 weeks, right?
Middle of March. Yeah, middle of March.
Yeah.
Middle of March. Going to see the Oxford Chargers. I think they're playing Petal.
Yeah.
They got 3 games in a row. I know Petal's the first one. I can't remember. I'm having a tough time remember who else they're playing. Got beat 2-0 against the Lafayette Commodores in game 1. Game 2's Friday. Game 3's Saturday. What's this guy's name? Tanner. What's Tanner's last name? Tanner
Boyle.
No. It's gonna drive me nuts. Tanner Hayes, maybe. There's a kid from Lafayette.
I don't know.
That pitched he single-handedly won the game by himself. The dude pitched a shutout and then had like 2 of the 3 hits that they had. I mean, ball playing Nancy.
This is when you were at the
tip the hat. Yeah, he's a good player.
Chicken Tenders.
It's Chicken Tendies review. Yeah, Chicken Tendies review. I mean, he balled out. He's pitching his ass off, and he hit. He was good. He did a hell of a job. So shout out to him, local young man. He'll be playing. He's gonna play college somewhere, and if he's not, that's a shame on the college coaches because he is a college player if I've ever seen one.
Harris is his name.
Harris, yes, Tanner Harris. Thank you. What'd I say?
I don't remember.
I remember it was Tanner, but he threw. I mean, it was really impressive. He played really well. The Chargers got bases loaded, down 2, with 1 out
in the 7th.
And we
struck out.
Didn't get him home. Tie and run to second base.
Any contact?
I know we had 1 strikeout. I don't remember how the last out. I don't remember. CT and all. I don't remember. But it is what it is.
Ronnie says he struck out 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like they were either.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. You know, all kidding aside, it's a pandemic in baseball in general.
Epidemic.
It's a pandemic.
Okay.
Which is worldwide. It's a worldwide problem.
Okay.
I just made that shit up. Thank you. just to do it. Baseball IQ is really bothers me, especially at the plate. It bothers the shit. I mean, it's every team, every game we go to. And like I almost said something to Brock when he was on the on deck circle because I was standing by it. But my wife, I don't say anything. I don't want to. I'm not that guy. But I came really close to saying something. So Brock got a base hit up the middle in the first pitch. Saw first pitch fastball, base hit up the middle, hit it hard. And he comes back up, and the other kid was locating his curveball. And I told my wife, I said, I wonder if Brock has if going through his head on the on deck circle right now, like because they don't think. I don't know why they just don't think. It's like I wonder if going to the plate right now, he knows that he's seen the last fastball he's going to see today. Because you think, and you're like, okay, you're going to see it. And if the guy's going to try to curveball, he's going to try to locate it. And a lot of times they hang them and you can get on one. Yeah. But no, they don't think like that. And we had a kid the other night, had bases loaded. And it may have been the last inning, we had bases loaded. And the kid had thrown two straight. It was a 2-0 count with bases loaded. And he walked a couple guys. And I was like, I wonder if this kid knows he's about to get a fastball right down the middle. Like you should be unbuttoning your shirt and trying to hit it 700 feet. And these kids will go, phew. And it's every team, every level. They don't think as hitters. Like they don't I'm sitting here.
So you want my theory on this?
That they don't watch baseball?
There you go.
But it's just unbelievable.
They don't watch baseball. Young people don't watch sports. Not to go on down this path, but
wouldn't you think like you get to that level, you should like know?
No, it's a problem. Just young people, just because they run fast or hit a ball hard doesn't mean they're different than their contemporaries at that age. They walk around with these things in their hands all day long, AirPods in their ears. They are the most checked out generation in the history of generations.
Like there'll be bases loaded and 2 outs, and the ball be hit on the ground. You have guys going back to the bag. Like, brother, there's 2 outs. Or there's 1 out, a ball hit on the ground, and they'll, like, I'm like, brother, you gotta go. Like it's just so many things like that.
They're not really engaged in the games that much often.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it in soccer. Kids would just start getting bored. You could see it. It's like kind of just drifted off.
The other one that drives me nuts is when a team's up like 18-0, and the other team gets a runner on second base, and you're up 18-0, and they're over there trying to pick the guy off 14 times, and they'll throw it out and down right field or center field and let the guy score. I'm like, you're up 18. The out is at the plate. Just you're trading outs for runs at this. They don't. It's just the overall IQ of the game. Or
they don't watch the sport.
They got a guy.
They watch clips.
Yeah, you got a guy. They
watch highlights. They don't watch the sport.
Yeah,
they don't follow a game. They don't sit and watch a game. You and I watched games. I'm not saying we're better or worse. I'm just saying it's different. It's why if I'm the big TV people, before I negotiate these big, massive TV deals, I'm like, we got to find some. You have to show me some analytics that young people are watching this, because kind of the way it works, the people that are 75, they're closer to kind of than the people who are 15. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a little, if I'm a TV person, I get a little nervous about these big TV contracts. And if I'm an athletics director person, I get a little nervous about relying on these big TV contracts, because I probably won't be alive the day this happens, but they're not lasting forever.
They're just going to turn into streaming contracts.
Kids don't stream. They don't watch games.
Oh, you're talking about longevity. I'm with you.
They don't watch 3 hours. They watch 10 seconds, 15 seconds. They get their news off TikTok.
You know, the one that you may tell you, the other one that would drive you crazy because you understand baseball. But parents don't even. It doesn't even drive parents crazy. Even the ones, now they'll know when there's 2 outs and they're supposed to run. The one that drives me crazy, that the only people that bitch about it are the coaches, but it drives me nuts. It's every game. Okay, this will happen. You go to your high school baseball game, this will happen.
Okay.
All right. There's runners on second and third. The team it'll be late in the game. The other team will have runners on second and third, down 3. Okay. They're down 3. They'll have runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Team will hit a base hit. It never fails. That outfielder is going to pick it up, and he's going to try to airmail that motherfucker all the way to home plate.
Instead of throwing to second.
Instead of throwing to second and keeping the tying run from going to second base.
Scoring position.
Because they want to show and everybody's like, ooh, look at that arm. Good throw, little Johnny.
But you let him move into
the
scoring
tying
position.
run get to second base.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. And why does it drive me more nuts than anybody? Because I have birthed an asshole that does this. Did the shit the other night. Drove me nuts. Because the guy at second base on the crack of the bat is gone. You're not throwing him out.
He's scoring.
Shohei Ohtani is not throwing a runner out on 2 outs at second base on a base hit. The guy is going to score. He's on the crack of the bat. He's gone. It drives me nuts. All right. I'm done with that. I'm off that soapbox. All right. Let's get to little hoops. You want to get some hoops?
Yes.
All right.
It was actually a good game. Pretty good night of hoops last night.
Good.
I watched.
Good night. Good 2 nights.
I watched a good bit of hoops yesterday, college and pro.
Yep. All right. So starting Tuesday, Georgia.
Yeah, Hayden pointed out that Aaron birthed him. You did not.
3-time world champ. I'll take all credit. Just kidding. I know I knew when I said it, but I'll imagine this chat. Just let me know that. Thanks. I thought y'all were going to let me slide with that one. All right. Georgia upsets Florida 88-83. This was a great game for about the last.
Which one's this?
Georgia, Florida. It was a very entertaining game.
Oh, Tuesday. I was thinking about the games last night. Yeah.
Georgia up 29 in the first half. Georgia shoots 68% in the first half.
Yeah.
Florida comes back. And then Georgia, I swear it's like they were throwing a damn game. They were like throwing some bad turnovers. Florida takes the lead, and then Georgia proceeds to go on an 8-0 run to finish the game in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked that Georgia ended up winning because once they gave up the lead, I was like,
I was the same way.
This is it.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah. But big win for Georgia. I think that gets Georgia. I think Georgia's in. I think it gets them in. I think they got to get to 7. I think they get to 7. Alabama at Mississippi State. Not a surprise here.
Yeah, you're not a birthing person. They're pointing out in the stream.
Guys, I'm fucking.
You're
aware.
not a birthing person.
I'm aware. I apologize. I make a mistake. My bad.
Aaron is a birthing person.
How about this? I gave half of my DNA to an asshole that does this. Is that fair?
It's technically not true either. You did not give half of your DNA. You participated in a project in which some of your DNA meshed with some of her DNA. You fertilized an embryo is what you did. Okay,
right.
There you go.
All right, 3-time world champ. All right.
But you didn't use half of your DNA to do it. That's
okay.
Not how
All right. Thanks for correcting me, guys.
In fact, like one of 60 million, you launched a contest in which millions participate and only one wins.
Thanks. All right. It's awesome. I hope Aaron's not listening to this show. All right. Tennessee wins 65-59 a rock fight in Baton Rouge. Not really surprised there. Kind of figured that was about what I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Missouri dominates South Carolina 101-71. No surprise there. Last night, Auburn beat Ole Miss 106-76.
Yes, they did.
They
did indeed.
So I was really hoping. You let me down. I was really hoping that you were going to take my text and go, know what? That's a great idea. So I text Scoops, just so everybody knows. I texted him when it got out of hand early, and I said, "You finished your article yet?"
Yeah.
You said about halfway. I was hoping you were going your whole article. Like you missed the opportunity here. This would have been classic. Is to go like have the clickbait, like a really nice title with a picture and everything, and then when you click on it, the whole article should have said Auburn's good. The end.
Yeah, that
would have been great.
It would not have gone over well.
With who?
Just people. People get a little
sensitive.
Check
your feelings at the door. But yeah, that was Auburn's good. I heard a little bit of your podcast this morning. I'm not.
Which part?
About you said you were talking about the yellow flags. There were signs and stuff.
Yeah, I see some yellow flags. Not playing well. Not playing well on defense.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Not playing well on defense, and that's your calling card, and suddenly you've got the coach saying our defense was non-existent.
But how much of that was the team you're playing?
Some of it, but boy, they backed away physically. Backed away.
Nothing's changed for me, though.
No, nothing's changed.
How much of this is a product of their schedule? Coming back to being the 500 team.
Almost lost LSU.
But they didn't.
I know.
Lost. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
If your aunt had balls, she would not be a birthing person.
Good.
That is true.
But almost beat Texas A&M. Almost beat Purdue.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I'm not. No, I was not the person going, "Oh, look out, caution." I was just like, there's some yellow flags.
Nothing's changed for me.
I'm really interested in Saturday.
Yeah, nothing's changed for me. I think they win Saturday. We'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
All right, Vanderbilt 86-84. This game was not as close. Vanderbilt dominated this game. Texas A&M made 2 runs to try to close it, and then Vandy just answered right back.
Yeah, Vanderbilt here down the stretch has played remarkably hard. Mark Byington has done a really good job with that team, with that program.
It's the first time they've played on the road, maybe against Florida that first time.
Where they look like they do at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what stuck out to me.
It's a process.
All right. Kentucky got their dudes back, and they win 83-82.
This was a great game.
And a great game.
It was a great game.
In Oklahoma.
The 2 8:00 games were fantastic.
Great. At least last two we're talking about.
Yep.
But look, I mean, I thought Kentucky, everybody's saying, well, nothing changed. I thought Kentucky looked better. They got limited minutes. I think you'll get more minutes as time goes on. I think they got 20 from the guys that came back last night. So they not back in their full rotation, but look, I think Kentucky is probably going to get from here on out would be probably a step up from what they've been this last 6 weeks or so, or 4 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
6 games is what I meant. And so I think they kind of held off and did what they needed to do. Kentucky can score. They can't defend. That's the whole deal. But I still think they're going to be hell. If they continue to shoot the ball well from the perimeter, they're going to be hell on wheels come tournament time. All right. Arkansas 86-81 in overtime. Really good game. Arkansas had chances to really, I thought, to give the knockout shot a few times.
Well, they
and
did.
Texas responded.
No, you're wrong. Trey Johnson responded.
Okay, Trey Johnson responded.
Listen, I have a new NBA draft crush.
Yeah, he's good.
Wow.
Yeah, he's good.
Fearless. 39 points. 39 points. Arkansas played down. What's the kid's name? Adu Tiro. Tiro didn't play. They went to extended minutes with Trevor Brazile, who answered the call. He was very good. I thought Arkansas had a great plan and played really well and was on its way to a 10, 15-point win. And Trey Johnson said, nope.
Just kept answering.
Nope. And just made big bucket after big bucket after big bucket and showed why. I was looking at an NBA draft board today. They had him at 10 with an arrow up. And I'm like, yeah, it's about right. Sometimes you see those games with guys where you're like, oh, that's why the NBA likes him.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Well, last night was one of those nights where you go, whoa.
Yeah, he was spectacular. But Arkansas holds on. Big win for Arkansas. I think Arkansas is in.
Yeah, they still have South Carolina on the road, Vanderbilt on the road, and home against Mississippi State. I think they probably need to win one of those games. I won't be surprised if they win 2 of those games, and if they do at 8-10, they're an absolute stone cold lock.
Yeah, they're all right. I'm with you though. I think I've turned the page on this too. I think 9-9 turned into 8-10. That's turned into 7-11 for me. I think 7 is the number.
Could be
for these SEC teams that are these in the 30s, early 40s nets.
Yeah. Like Arkansas's 39 in the net. Arkansas's 40 in the net. Texas is 39. Vanderbilt's like 41. They're all right there. They all have great resumes.
Like if you start looking at pass, all right, and then we'll do that in here in a second. So we can do it now. All right, so when you start looking at pass, okay, just what you said, you got Georgia right now, Arkansas. Arkansas's at 6-9. I think they got the way they've been playing down the stretch, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make a little run wherever they are in the SEC tournament, depending on what the matchup is.
Got to get Tiro back.
They get South Carolina on the road, okay, which is not – South Carolina plays well at home, but they are a better basketball team, okay? They play Vanderbilt on the road, which is going to be a really good game, okay? And then they have Mississippi State at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they win one of the 3, they're in.
I think one of the three, and they're probably in two of the three, and they're a lock.
Okay. All right. Now, the other I call SEC bubble teams. Okay. So let's look at Georgia. Okay. Georgia off the big win at home against Florida gets them to 5-10. Okay. I think they got to win two of the next three. I think 7 is the number.
Who they got left?
They got to go at Texas, at South Carolina, and at home against Vanderbilt. I think they get to 7. I think they get 2 of the 3.
Okay.
So I think
So you say 7 and 11, Georgia gets in.
I do.
I tend to think you're right.
When you look at, because they got other wins too that nobody's, they also beat this team named St. John's.
Yeah.
So they got other wins.
Yeah.
They beat Kentucky.
Sure.
They've beat Florida. They've beat St. John's. Like they got things there. Their only out of conference loss was against Marquette.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
All right. And then let's look at Oklahoma. All right. So Oklahoma, when you start looking at them, okay, now Oklahoma's 4-11, which means they probably have to run the table.
Okay.
Okay. They're at Ole Miss. I know
I am fascinated Saturday because Ole Miss has not played well. They'll tell you that. Oklahoma is going to play desperate, and they
have to.
And they have played fairly well here lately.
They're at Ole Miss. They're at home against Missouri, and they're on the road against Texas. I do not think they win all 3.
They probably don't get there.
So I think Oklahoma, in my
they're
opinion,
they're going to play hard Saturday.
Yeah. I think they're going to be. I don't think they win all 3.
Okay.
And who was the other? Vandy was the one I wanted to look at. All right, so you look at Vanderbilt.
Ooh, Graham, that's a really good question. Would you rather see more of Asa Newell or Jeremiah Fears? Fears is growing on me fast, man. Newell's good. Newell's really, they're different players. Can I just have more of Trey Johnson?
All right. Yeah, Asa Newell is good. I mean, he's getting better. I'd probably say the latter. All right, Vandy. Vandy is at 7-8. Is Vandy already in?
Yes.
Okay, they're 7-8. They got Missouri at home, Arkansas at home, and Georgia away. Are they already in at 7-8?
I think they're already in, but they're going to get above 7. They're going to win at least one of those 3 games,
so,
maybe 2 of those 3 games. Vandy might get to 9-9.
So we're saying right now, Auburn in, Kentucky in.
Yeah, well, Auburn.
I think Arkansas
Auburn's on the bubble.
In.
Auburn's on the bubble.
Stop. I think Ole Miss is in. I think Mississippi State is in. I think Alabama's in. Tennessee is in. Missouri is in. We're saying Vandy's in. I think Georgia's getting in. Texas. All right. When you look at Texas is 5-10.
Don't say anything mean about Trey.
They got to run the table.
Who they got left?
No, they don't. They got to win 2 or 3. They got Georgia at home.
Okay, that's a dub.
I don't know.
Look,
Mississippi State.
Trey.
Mississippi State away.
The way they're playing, that they could win that game.
And Oklahoma at home.
They'll win.
They have to win 2 of 3.
Look, they'll get in.
You think Texas is in?
Horns get in.
All right, but here's the interesting part, right?
Trey plays in Dayton on a Tuesday night, and I'm gonna turn him on.
Here's the thing: is Georgia?
He's got future Thunder Guard written all over him.
Georgia, Oklahoma, and Texas. They're all on this SEC bubble. They all got to play each other. So somebody's in, somebody's out.
Someone's gonna win.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think Texas.
Well, so then you get into the debate about does the SEC tournament matter? Those teams are going to play on Wednesday night, potentially against each other again. Does it matter?
Yep.
Right. I mean,
it'll be interesting for that
because you're going to have 9 versus 16. 16 is going to be Carolina. You're going to have 10 versus 15. 15 is going to be LSU. You're going to have 11 and 4 versus 14. 12 versus 13.
No, I mean I'm with you. I get it. So I mean so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are locks. How about that?
How about that?
And so, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 locks.
So if the SEC tournament were played today, if it started today, you'd have South Carolina and Mississippi State in a first-round game.
Okay.
You'd have Texas would play Georgia again. LSU would play Vanderbilt. Oklahoma and Arkansas would play again. And then if
that's going to change, though.
that's going to change. But I'm saying if it were today, the point is you're going to get 2 games like the ones I just described. It might not be Texas versus Georgia and Oklahoma versus Arkansas, but it's going to be something like that in the 12-13 and 11-14 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that you're going to get that.
All right, here's who I got. Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas. I think Arkansas's in. Okay? I'm saying they're in.
As of this moment, I think they got to win one more game.
I think they're going to get there, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I would say they get there. So I got Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Vandy, Georgia, Texas A&M, Florida. That's 12. Is there a world that Oklahoma and Texas both get in?
I mean, probably.
No, because Oklahoma's got to run the table.
Probably. Well, here's the thing. This isn't directed at you, but we all are doing this thing where we're putting a number on something that might not exist.
Could 14 SEC teams get in?
Sure.
Do you see that? Is that a real?
It happens in softball.
If I ask you a question, if I said it's not 13, it's 12 or 14, which one do you go?
I mean, probably would say 12 just because of conventional wisdom. But if you told me it's 14, I'm not stunned. All of the net numbers are really, really good. Oklahoma's net is 50. So what happens if Oklahoma wins 2 more? And then
that only gets them to
so
6,
let's play this out.
All right, we're about 6. That only gets them to 6, though.
Okay, so let's play this out.
Okay.
Let's say this is right, just for kicks and giggles.
Okay.
Oklahoma wins 2 of the next 3.
Okay.
And then they beat Arkansas in the SEC tournament on Wednesday. And then they beat Texas A&M in the SEC tournament on Thursday. All of a sudden we're having it. Does that matter? I don't know. Sometimes
things we don't know.
Sometimes it matters. Sometimes it doesn't matter. But this would be a wild bracket right here. I mean, you'd have, if you went by chalk, okay, you'd have Mississippi State against Kentucky on Thursday. You'd have, if you went chalk, Georgia against Missouri on Thursday. If you went chalk, you'd have Vanderbilt and Ole Miss on Thursday. And you'd have Arkansas, Texas A&M on Thursday. This is where the depth of the league kicks in. Because if you told me that you got 4 upsets on Thursday, I'm not stunned. If I told you Mississippi State beat Kentucky in Nashville, are you stunned?
No.
If I told you that Georgia beat Missouri in Nashville, same. If I told you Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss, frankly, I'd pick Vanderbilt. And if you told me Arkansas beat Texas A&M, they played to an absolute stalemate in College Station, sure.
Yeah, no.
That's the part of the league that if you're the committee, when you start to look at these SEC teams, and they all did this thing with non-cons and stuff, maybe the committee goes, look, screw it. We're supposed to not look at conference affiliation and evaluate resumes, and 14 SEC teams have worthy resumes. Is that possible? Yeah. Is it something I'd bet on? No, because they're human and they're going to be like, we're letting too many SEC teams in.
Yeah.
But if they do the blind resume thing, well, look, Georgia's blind resume is really freaking good because they don't have any bad losses. Arkansas's blind resume, their worst loss is Oklahoma at home.
All right, here's Georgia's losses. You ready?
Yeah.
Marquette, Ole Miss, Tennessee.
And do the where the game was because that matters to them.
Marquette neutral.
Okay.
Ole Miss on the road. Tennessee on the road. Auburn at home. Arkansas on the road. Florida on the road. Alabama on the road. Mississippi State at home. That was the crusher. When the guy
that hurt
he
him.
dribbled it off his knee going up for the layup.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't hurt, but it would have put him in a different situation.
Yeah, sure.
Texas A&M on the road. Missouri at home. Auburn on the road.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of nasty there.
Wins, quality wins, or big-time wins, I would say, or this is not a big-time win, but the top, I'll just put top 100 teams. All right, St. John's, Notre Dame, Kentucky, Oklahoma, South Carolina, LSU, and Florida.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
So you're comparing. So the question is, does the committee compare Georgia to Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, or does the committee compare Georgia to random Big 12 school, random ACC school, random Mountain West school?
Yeah.
I'm not in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But If everybody did what everybody was supposed to do, they'd all be birthing people. Wait, I'm getting it all confused. Sorry.
Got me. All right, before we do life advice scoops, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to read these after life advice. You know what, Scoops? Did you know they were brought to you by Kia Meridian? Kia Meridian, right now, give our guy Trav a call at Kia of Meridian right now. You can take $2,500 and they will match your down payment up to $2,500. Big savings happening right now at Kia Meridian.
Big savings.
You can get $10,000 in rebates and 0% financing on select vehicles. Plus, for a limited time, we're matching your down payment. That is more car for your money all month long. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit Kia Meridian today. Kia Meridian, where great deals drive home with you. Area code 601-483-6444. Call our guy Trav there. And when you purchase it, he's going to let you spin the wheel.
Unbelievable.
And win big prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Check them out, Kia Meridian. Scoops were also brought to you by our good friend Brandon and all the people over at PTG Outdoors. From cycling and running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings innovation to your fitness journey. So discover Garmin at PTG Outdoors. You can track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision for cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking tools, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. I jacked it up. My bad, Brandon. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments. Available now at ptgoutdoors.com.
Unbelievable.
How about that?
We have life advice. Life advice presented by our friend Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, even pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850, 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at colewaltersinsurance.com. We have a life advice submission to us this afternoon. It says, and I quote, "Hey, fellas, I'm a 21-year-old who just unexpectedly lost my father. I am really struggling with this as it was my only family member that I had a close relationship with. Don't want to get sappy on you guys, but was just curious if you wise men could speak from experience. Thanks in advance." And then he signed his name. Thank goodness I can't speak from experience. My father is still very much with us. Thank goodness. Huge part of my life. Number one, I don't think being upset about your dad's passing makes you sappy. I think you should not even think like that.
Yeah, I shouldn't apologize for that.
I don't think it's, I think it's perfectly fine to have all the grief and all the emotions that one might have. I can't speak from experience, though I can tell you as a dad with young people, children who are roughly your age. Campbell's 23. Caroline turns 22 in a little over 2 weeks. Carson's 18. And you talk about your relationship with your dad as you guys were close. I can tell you that your dad would want you, because I would want, if I passed away while my kids were that age, your dad would want you to know how proud of you he is. Your dad would want you to do everything in your power to pursue happiness, to be happy, to do the things that make you happy. He would want you to remember him. He would want you to try to do everything in your power to remember the good times and get through this time. And probably I can say this for myself. I hope that when I pass, I will be able to look down on my kids and for them to somehow feel what I think they feel now with me still being alive, and that is I'm their biggest fan. I am cheering for them.
Yeah. I'm the same. I have not gone through this yet. It's something that we're all going to go through at some point in time in our life. That's just going to happen. I think I've got a different perspective on this the older I've gotten because of my children getting older and things like that.
Sure.
So, and as a parent, because obviously I do anyway, I've thought about what would happen if something happened to me, right? And so the one thing I would want as a parent with my kids is I would want them to remember the good stuff and the lessons learned, but I wouldn't want them to. It's so, and like I said, you're totally normal going through grief and going through hard times and all that stuff. That's total normal. But then I would also want them to press forward and get up. And a lesson that I think is very important in life, I try to do, or not try to do, but I try to explain to my kids is, to me, how a individual responds to adversity is a very important quality to have in life, because life is going to kick you in the nuts. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever.
You're going to fall down.
And I think social media, is like a highlight tape for people's lives a lot of times. And they don't, you see, oh, this guy's got all the money in the world and everybody's got problems. Yes. Everybody has problems. Now, a lot of people aren't going to advertise
them, right?
Okay, but everybody's got problems, and so how do you respond to adversity? And that's what life's about. You gotta respond and to adversity on those things. But again, nothing completely normal to be upset and be down. But I have a feeling your dad would want you to pick up and start moving. One foot in front of the other, day by day. And, a lot of people struggle with a lot of things, and I try to tell. I get texts and calls. I had one the other night after midnight. I get texts and calls about people struggling and maybe they've hit rock bottom, maybe they haven't, but you have to, as an individual, because nobody is going to do it for you. I think people are going to be there to support you, but nobody is going to do it for you. I think it's very important to get up and compartmentalize your goals. Okay. And stop thinking, and I always say this is when times of adversity hit, you don't think big picture, you think small picture. Mm-hmm. You change the way you think. Okay. So because if all of a sudden, if when adversity hits, the big picture goals seem unrealistic. So what can I do today to get better? What can I do today? What can I do in the next hour? What can I do? Whatever you got to do. It could be as simple as getting up out of bed, making my bed, taking a shower, cleaning up, and organizing whatever. What can I do in the next 15 minutes to get moving? And then the 15 minutes turns into an hour. Maybe tomorrow you work on an hour. Then it's half a day. Then it's a day. Then it's a week. And then you can get back on track for your big time goals. And it's if you lose your job, if something happens in your marriage, anything in life, anytime adversity hits, and this is for everybody in this, anytime adversity hits, you just have to shrink your big time goals, shrink them down to winning the day, winning the hour. And then turn that hour, start back over. Yeah. And that's life. We're in that's how it goes. And when you can do that and be successful in doing that and celebrate the small victories and day by day, and things will get better as time goes on. Time heals everything.
By the way, our condolences for your loss.
Absolutely.
That sucks. Nobody.
Yeah. It's
that 21's awfully young to lose your dad.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back on Monday. Another edition of McCready and Siskey. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Remember, we've been brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Until next time, take care.